Hi guys, and welcome back to Rachel's Enchanting Cakes. For this week's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to turn the super popular Terry's Chocolate Orange into this really cool witch's cauldron. Excellent for beginner bakers as only limited equipment is used. It's done in a simple step-by-step format and perfect timing to get those Halloween orders come flooding in. Happy baking, guys. I really do hope I help you again today, and let's make a start. Start by taking a Terry's Chocolate Orange, unwrap it out of the packaging and place it directly onto a piece of baking paper. Taking some liquid glucose and a small brush, cover all of the Terry's Chocolate Orange egg. This will give the fondant something to stick to. You will also find it helpful if you warm the liquid glucose up first, as it will be easier to brush over. Using exactly 150 grams of fondant, simply add a small amount of Tylo powder. This will allow the fondant to set just a little bit harder than usual and will give us that lovely cauldron-like shape. Simply knead this in and you have your homemade modelling paste. Roll out your modelling paste on a dusted down surface. Take your time with this and do your best to keep it in a circular shape. Drape this over your prepared chocolate orange, negotiating the pleats from the top to the bottom. However, you want a small amount of the black just tucked underneath the egg. Make sure that you've got enough of an overlap to go over that baking paper, because we're going to be cutting this away slightly differently and then allowing it to set to create the cauldron. Using a large circle cutter, very carefully position this over your Terry's Chocolate Orange and attempt to get it central before cutting away the excess modelling paste. This will create the shape of the cauldron, but it will need to be left overnight in order to allow the modelling paste to set. After being left overnight, as you can see, it holds its shape. I then simply cut out a small piece of green and cover the remaining exposed section of the Terry's Chocolate Orange. Leaving the cauldron to one side, we're now going to start creating the legs. I rolled out two simple sausage shapes in the colours of my choice, and then you simply want to twist these together and roll out again. This will give you that lovely two-toned effect for the legs. If you want, you can just use one colour and just roll out a simple sausage shape and keep it as simple as possible. I then simply cut this in half and make sure each one is identical in size, so we have one for each leg. Now take a ball tool and simply add an indentation for where the foot will go on each of the legs. We are then going to thread some spaghetti directly through the centre of each leg. Spaghetti is completely edible, and this is what we use in sugar work. It will support the leg, but these fondant legs, these are not modelling paste, will have to be left overnight again to set. So simply thread this through and repeat that for the other one. Before we leave these to set, we want to add the pointy shoes. Simply take a small ball of black fondant, roll this into more of a cone-like shape, and then pinch at one of the ends once you have applied it directly to the leg. Apply this with a small amount of edible glue just to support it into place and just get those feet the shape that you want them. You then want to stick both of the legs together and just leave them flat on their back so that they can set overnight. Here I have a small ball of green modelling paste, and as you can see, I've just put an indentation in the centre. I add plenty of edible glue, and then those feet and legs that have been left to set overnight, as you can see, I've stuck them together at the base, and there's still a little bit of spaghetti just hanging out. This will allow you to very gently push it in to the green modelling paste. This then wants to be left to set once again, just so it can support itself before we add it directly to the terrace chocolate orange and cover it with those lovely green balls. Now simply glue this directly to the top of your terrace chocolate orange before rolling out lots of small green balls and simply covering up where the support is. The last thing I added was some very small cone shapes rolled out by hand for the legs. It really is as simple as that, and then just add it to a decorated cake drum. Happy baking, guys. I really do hope I have helped you again today, and I'll be back soon with an awful lot more new, completely free content.